Here we go. Folks, good evening, good morning. Welcome to the CEG Sea Level Connect series. This is 41 in our series. We have done one every month for the last 41 months. Today is Sunday, December 29th, 2024, 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Just a few words about CEG Connect for those who may not be aware of that. CEG Connect is a private online platform that I built along with Vartha and Jaitesh in 2021. The idea was to help CG alumni, students, faculty, and all CG stakeholders to be able to network, connect, and benefit from interactions. We are a 220-30-year-old college, but we don't really have a very good record of who our alumni are, how to get to them. So this is an attempt to try and solve that particular problem. So cegconnect.com is a portal that we built in 2021. You're welcome to visit. It's like a mini Facebook, if you will, only for CEG people. So you could join there with the user ID and password, and you can do lots of good stuff there, connect with people, exchange, etc. All that. About this CEG C Level Connect series program itself, it's a 1 hour online video podcast, which I do with one successful, who I think is successful CEG alumni guest speaker every month. And we have done 41 programs so far. So I try my best to give enough diversity. So I have men and women based in India or overseas, C-level execs or academic leaders, vice chancellors, presidents, startup founders, bureaucrats, investors and mentors, venture capitalists, angel investors, sports people, social workers. So the idea is to introduce our students and alumni to different industries, different backgrounds, different personalities. The eventual idea is for students and younger alumni to be able to know who the senior alumni are and be able to relate to them and connect with them to be able to benefit from the interaction. That is the purpose of this. Interestingly, the original purpose was meant mainly for students, but we only get more alumni joining this session. Lately, students are coming and joining. A lot of them watch the YouTube video and then come and ask questions. So, Ajit, even though you are addressing us not a very big audience here in the call, this session is going to be recorded, so a lot of people will watch it eventually. The program is scheduled for the last weekend of every month. And the program is open and free for all CEG alumni, CEG students, and faculty and stakeholders. And the sessions, as I said earlier, are recorded, and it's available in our public YouTube channel, CEG Connects. And of course, we have the portal cegconnect.com for all of the details.
And
In
this is
addition,
a particularly special session because it's the last week of the year. Just
yes,
making that point.
yes, exactly. In addition to the CG Connect session, the CG C Level Connect session, we also do other programs as part of the platform. CG Field Insights is another program that we run quarterly. Here, the format is similar to this session, except that we get one of our alumni speakers from a particular industry and ask them to do a deep dive about that industry on the research opportunities, employment opportunities, and startup opportunities in that industry. We have covered air transportation, electric vehicle, crypto, weather forecasting, sustainability, manufacturing. We are shortly going to do one in cybersecurity. And the other program we run is a CEG Connect Startup and Entrepreneur Networking Meet. We did recently one last week in the CEG campus as part of CGAM, but we are planning to do one every quarter. We have done four so far in Chennai. The plan is to conduct one in 2025 in Bangalore and one in San Francisco. We have done one in San Francisco in 2022. We had close to 75 people who attended that session in San Francisco. So we're going to repeat that session in 2025 as well. And also, I do a lot of CG free webinars on various topics. You can see the list of topics here. It's a wide variety of topics. Mainly, the idea is whatever I learn from what I do, I try to put that into a webinar so others can benefit from that. The most popular ones in this is the US and India immigration, taxation, and foreign exchange management. I have CAs and CPAs asking me to make the presentation to them, which is quite scary actually. They should know that better than me actually. And the other one is end of life planning. That's basically for all of us to see what we have to document about ourselves. So when we eventually leave this world, people who are left behind don't have to really figure out what we were doing. That's also a very important session. I've done many sessions, many of those sessions as well. We did one on AI, basics of AI. I had one of my friends, Dr. Ramakrishnan from Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, US, do a lovely session. Plan to do several of those sessions in 2025 as well. And then, of course, Being a psychologist and a psychotherapist, I do sessions on emotional wellness and mental health as well, which I do for colleges, universities, corporates, as well as social organizations. So that's about CG Connect. So today's program, Sunday, December 29, 2024. Today, before we start the program, a few guidelines. Please stay muted during the session. Please accept the host and the guest speaker. Rest of you, please turn off your video. During the middle part of the program, I will ask you to turn on the video to take a screenshot. The entire session, as I said earlier, is recorded, and the recording will be available in a public YouTube channel. In case you guys have any questions, you can ask questions during the program using the Slido application, which I'll discuss, which I'll explain in a minute. There will also be periodic live polls in Slido. As a host, we can push live polls asking for inputs from the audience and on various topics. So please participate in the poll. In the Google Meet session on the Google chat box, Partha will be periodically putting the Slido code for today's session, and then you can join with that. During the Q&A session, if your name is called, if you put a question, name is called, please unmute, open your video, and you can ask the question directly to the guest speaker yourself. So coming to today's session, today's guest speaker is Mr. Ajit Chordia, my batchmate and classmate from CEG Mechanical Engineering. He's the managing director of Olympia Group India and also director of the famous Khivraj Motors. Ajit is also a colleague of mine in Chennai Angels and Thai Chennai as well. So we have a lot of different places we connect. Of course, I'll be the host, and Jaitesh is the co-host, and Partha is our tech support person. All three of us are on the call today. To join Slido, what you have to do is you can go to any device, laptop, desktop, tablet, mobile phone, and go to any browser, Google Chrome or any other browser if you wish, and then put slido.com in the box. And then when you do that, you will get a screen which will ask for a code. You type in the code 2700377. Today's code is 2700377. When you enter the code in Slido, you will get to the screen. In this screen, you will have the ability to ask questions as well as to reply to polls. So that's all I had about this so far. I'm going to close this session and open it up back to Ajit. So Ajit, welcome to the program. Okay. Did you mute something, Ajit?
Yes, Mr. Ajit, you are muted.
I think I didn't mute Ajit.
Would you like to add on the global alumni meet on 4th and 5th? I was seeing on the screen something today.
Yes. There is a global alumni meet. In fact, Satyapriya has joined. Maybe I'll ask Satyapriya to give a brief update on that since the event is next week. Satyapriya, can you give a brief update on CGAM? What's the plan?
Yeah, sure. So it's happening on January 3rd and 4th. Basically, 3rd is all about the inauguration happens around 4 p.m. in the evening, and the morning is full of speed networking and some startup pitches. And networking is all about in the morning. And the second day, we have a lot of panel discussions, one on sustainability, one on AI, one on beyond engineering careers. There are people who have excelled in sports, NGO, not-for-profit organizations, and arts and stuff like that. So we have a panel for them, and there is also there's a networking dinner on the first day. So this is a typical agenda of the event. More details is available on cgam.org.
Thanks. The networking dinner is on 3rd night in Alumni Club.
Yeah.
I think that will be an excellent opportunity to meet people from various CEG batches. We'll get together there. And on 3rd evening, the inauguration is done by our IT Minister, PTR, Painuvel Thagarajan, who also, by the way, happens to be my classmate in the US. But unfortunately, I won't be able to join that particular session because I have Ayyappa Puja that day. But I will try and join for dinner at least towards the end of the dinner, I'll join there. So with that, so CGAM is next Friday and Saturday. So folks, if you hadn't registered yet, please go to cgam.org and register yourself. It is a wonderful program, lovely speakers lined up, and it is doing very well. So I think we have more than 550 registrations so far, if I understood right, and more coming now. So we are looking at maybe like 700 to 800 people getting together in the campus on third and fourth. So with that, Ajit, I want to turn it back to you, turn it over to you. What I would like you to do, Ajit, in the next 20 minutes, just talk about your journey from the time you left CEG to where you are now. The idea is to tell your story, obviously, but to also for younger audience, alumni and students, you want to highlight any significant learnings, any significant observations stuff that you had that you think would be useful for them, and go through that way. You can start even before your time in CEG. It's completely up to you. You can talk about your professional career only or your personal life. Either one is okay. We are a free world here. You can talk about whichever you think is relevant and interesting to the audience. And 20 minutes from now, so around 8:30 plus, I will just give you a little tinkle, and then
Yeah.
we'll move on to the Q&A session after that. So with that,
Thank you, Vish, and thank you very much for connecting me with the CEG group. I know I've not been fair in reciprocating with the work which you have been doing, and you've been trying to invite us time and again. I just remember about a couple of years back, you took me to the alumni office, which is there in the CEG.
yeah,
That happened, I think, almost 5 years back, 5, 6 years back, which is there.
yeah,
So I wish I could spend more time. Please do call me. I will be more than willing to join. Now
super.
that we are moving into a different stage in life, I'm sure I should be able to spend more time other than my work. So
Yeah,
this is just acute to you. I would really encourage you to please invite me, and I'll be more than willing, because you are from our batch. You are one of the most well connected with the CEG itself, as well as the university. I knew you could take us to straight away to meet the vice chancellor, the registrar, and everyone. So thanks. So I'll just start. I won't waste much time. I'll just take about 15 minutes to take you through my journey. I am in first. I'm a first graduate in my family. I'm a third generation entrepreneur. I'm from Rajasthan. My family has its roots in Rajasthan, but my family has been in Chennai for last 100 years. My grandfather moved to Chennai quite some time back. He moved sometime in 1930s or so. He moved to Chennai, and since then my family is there. My dad was born in Chennai, and he is now almost 80, 81 years old, and so so this gives me quite a lot of things. Coming from a family of entrepreneurs, the businessmen which is there, the business has been in our blood. I remember one particular saying. I don't know. Vish will probably be able to validate that. I had my HR mentor, so he would say, Ajit, you will get quite a lot of MBAs, but you are lucky you are MBB. He said three times MBB, MBB. I said, what? Please say. I'm not able to understand I'm not able to comprehend what you're trying to say. What is MBB? He said, you're Marwadi by birth, so you're lucky. So I said, so it's okay. And this is in a lighter way. So the business has been there, right from our the childhood days. So typically in a business community from North India, it would be like office will be in the same place. In the ground floor would be office, and the first floor would be your house. And for us, while growing up, the place where we would play would be is in the office, because in a businessman family, the office continues till 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the night. So probably Sunday also half a day the office will still be there. People will come and go. So I grew up in that particular environment. We had a couple of constraints also, because there was no great focus on education and nor on sports and fitness. So these were the two handicaps which were there. So education was that, yeah, you need to attain a level of literacy. Probably you must be in a position to calculate the time value of money was something which was important, being in the business of finance. So those things, I was lucky that right from my childhood days, we had that particular thing ingrained in the way in which we grew up. Second was why I took engineering. So my mother had set certain goals into me. So when I was a child, when I was in probably class 5, class 6 itself, she said that look at becoming an engineer, because that is my maternal grandfather's family, they were into manufacturing, they were into, having factories, and we were into trading and finance. These were the two businesses which my family was in Chennai. So she had said this particular thing, then look into manufacturing. So that was a goal. So right from my childhood days, it was very clear that I would like to become an engineer. Going forward, I was normal student, which was there. It's only probably in the class 9 and 10, some sort of a transformation was there. I knew that I would be able to, join an engineering college. I did attempt IIT, so I did apply for the Agarwal classes. The first set of books which came, I was not able to answer anything. So I said, this is not meant for me. I just closed it. Please appreciate, I was in, a government aided school. It was the state board, it was not even a central board. So looking at IIT without having external coaching, it would have been difficult then to crack for a state board student. But then I did a very good thing of closing it. I didn't even attempt, I didn't waste time onto it. I focused only on my plus two, which was there. And by the time I came out, I knew, because if I go to the exam, when you know from page 1 to page 99, everything you know, so including page number, figure, diagram by heart, it's extremely difficult not to get through to the normal process of whatever was the, the scoring pattern which was there then. So once I completed my education, mechanical was my choice because my family was in automobile business. So there was some sort of a connect. We were also into real estate. Civil was also there, but that was considered to be a pretty low in engineering. So very few people would take civil engineering. Even today, that is the situation which is there. And so I took mechanical, and rightly I took mechanical. And I'll tell you why it was right. So once I graduated from this, I immediately got married because I was probably one of the early few who got engaged when I was in my final year in college. So immediately after my graduation, I got married, and I would not have looked at MS in engineering, but I would have definitely looked at an MBA in some good college then. But the family circumstances did not give me that opportunity because there was a family partition and I had to take over certain businesses and I had to take it over immediately. So that was the situation in right from 86, 87 onwards. I had to take over the auto retailing business which was there. And so I continued with auto retailing, which came to me. And for next 10 years, 15 years, I was, looking after the auto retailing. My brother is 10 years younger to me, and he joined me probably about 9 years later. And both of us were doing the same business. Good thing was, come 95, 96, we knew that the days for ambassador car has come and it is not likely to survive. And we need to, if I need to be in this business, I need to move forward. Though it was highly profitable business, ambassador was highly profitable. So the margins which were there, though we used to sell about 650, 60 cars, the margins were pretty good. And so we were, but still we gave up Maruti dealership. Taking a look that the future is not there for ambassador, we took Maruti dealership. It was a struggle to move from ambassador to Maruti because it was a cultural difference. Here we were, from 1960s, almost a 40-year-old company, a legacy company which is there, moving to a new generation. So there was no such thing as customer satisfaction, sales satisfaction, service, making revenue out of service. All these things were not there in the old generation car, which was the ambassador. And Maruti, it was totally different. There was no money in selling car. You could make money only by servicing the cars. So, and then by the time we came, the era of shortage was over. It was again a surplus. So it was a struggle. We thought that we would be able to use the old employees and then take it forward. But it was not. We had Mr. Madhur Bajaj. He was the vice chairman of Bajaj Auto. He was the cousin of Rahul Bajaj, the managing director, chairman managing director of Bajaj Auto. So one day he had come to Chennai for one of the CII conference. He had time, so he came over to the office because I was a dealer for Bajaj. So they also had a highly militant trade union. My place also, it was a militant trade union. So he was telling Ajit, we would tolerate anything, but we will never tolerate indiscipline which is there. So he says, you want more money, whether we pay We give you more, we give you less. That's a different thing, but indiscipline will not be tolerated. He told one particular line that we are very clear, we would rather die today than bleed to death over a period of time. So that stuck to me, and when we had the unionized staff which was there, the workers which were there. So this I'm talking of 97, 98. So it was pretty hard. These people said, "Karke, no, no, we cannot work." We had such systems. The office starts at 8:30, but on a Monday, the workers will not touch the tool till 9 o'clock. If you ask them what, sir, 7:30 to 9 is Raukalam, sir. 9 o'clock only we will start. Arey Baba, it's an number of man hours which you put in, that much of output you are able to give. No, no, sir. This is the practice which we have. You know, and then people were unionized, they will keep moving around, they will not work. Bonus would be like 20% bonus is their right. It's not the question of performance or no performance, salary. So we were plagued with serious problem. We do not have productivity. Ambassador car would take 5 days to do pre-delivery inspection. So one set of people will do. Whereas in Maruti, it is one set of people, one mechanic and a helper will turn out 5 vehicles for pre-delivery inspection. There was no mindset for these people to turn out that many number of vehicles. You would say, no, sir, that takes 5 days, this will take 3 days, sir. So we were into serious loss, both in sales as well as in service. We were not making money. And when it came for negotiation, we put our foot down. We said, I'm freezing the current turnover which is there, and your wages are protected. Any increase you will get only if you are going to get an increased turnover. My loss, I'm freezing my loss from today. That did not get along well. They went in for strike. They gave me a strike notice. We said, we are waiving the notice. You go on strike immediately. They said, what is this? Yeah, please go on strike immediately. Don't worry about your salary, which is due 10 days later. I will give you today itself. Plus Diwali bonus also, we are giving it to you now. Please take, and you may go on strike. That was the type of strategy which we adopted. Ultimately, it resulted in some sort of vandalism, and one of the manager was assaulted. And then we took certain drastic steps. Immediately, we terminated about 7, 8 people who were involved in this act. And that brought these people to senses. They came back, sir, we are not in a position to work in the environment you want. Please give us a retirement. My lawyer said, please go ahead, take this as a golden opportunity and move forward. So I took that, and from there we started afresh. It's very difficult for anyone to start afresh if it's an existing company. But I had this particular opportunity. And touchwood, it is now 25 years since then, and we have been doing month on month, year on year, we have been doing very well, both in terms of sales, service, everywhere in automobile. We have expanded. We have now, more than 2,000 people working. So that was the power which was there, which, one particular line helped me. It was a great inspiration to take it forward. At this point of time, I would like to recall, I read very little books. I'm not able to concentrate. I will probably be able to read executive summary, but if you ask me to read, my span of attention is 5 pages to 10 pages. Beyond that, I cannot go. So our classmate Mahesh Krishnan gifted me one book called Goal. So when I read that book, it was doctored by Eli Goldratt. It was Theory of Constraints then. So he gave this particular book. When I read that book, I found everything which is said in this particular book, all the problems, I'm suffering with all the same problems which were there. So the problems were universal, then we need to find a solution. And with the consultants, we were able to find solutions and then move forward. It is at that time we had, this my HR person, my lawyer who was there, the labor lawyer who helped me with the whole process, a very celebrated person from Madras called Mr. T.S. Gopalan. And from his office, we have had a couple of judges coming out of Madras High Court and from Supreme Court also. So he had sent a consultant to me. He did a study which was there between me and my brother. Both of us were there doing the same work. They did something called role clarification and position clarification of the top management. And after mapping everything, he came back and said, sir, you and your brother are doing the same job. Your brother says, if my brother is not there, I will manage. You say, if my brother is not there, I will manage. Why two of you are there doing the same thing? And he said, no, you people will have to move out. One of you will have to move out and start something new. You people are entrepreneurs. You need to be doing business. You need to create more value. So we were doing well, and I pulled out, and that is how I moved into real estate. I said that I would like to move out. I was for 2 years waiting in paper. He said, you will not interfere in day work till you find the new work. Then we moved into real estate. We identified this could be one of our competencies which was there. And that is how, after 2 years, Olympia was born. We got a property. Coming to Olympia, again, I've been an engineer, but then for 15 years after my engineering, or rather 20 years from right from 85 to 2004, I hardly use my engineering skills. I would not have to go to workshop to understand the technical problems which were there because they were totally different from what I had studied in college. And then there are people there, and I had a lot of other headaches which were there to take care than to do this. So I've been all in all a finance person. And come 2004, I came with a large opportunity to make an office building which was there, an IT park then. So I signed up with Union Carbide. That's a separate story. I'll probably share with him some other time. In fact, that particular project which was there, the way we started is a case study in the Harvard Business School in the real estate program. So that is a separate thing. So we took up that particular project. So at that time, our classmate Ramesh had come to me. He's an ex Voltas, and he's in one of the fine air conditioning engineer. So he was introduced by my partner from Calcutta. He said, there is one Mr. Ramesh, you please meet him. So then I said, Ramesh. So it was that I met Ramesh after a long time. And he said, Ajit, you go green, and I assure you, you will get 50% extra rentals. So business was to build an IT park, rent it out, and then look at selling it to investors. So I said, what do you mean by green? Because in talking 2004-5, the whole concept was very, very new. So he said, then he explained, sustainability, driving down water consumption, driving down energy consumption, optimizing energy, high performance glass, envelope, all these particular things. I accepted that immediately and I implemented. Had it been just a finance person, he would have said, no, there would be a capital cost more, so we will not do it. We would rather go with what is there conventionally. Here we were able to see, I as an engineer was able to see that if I'm going to drive down the energy cost, my cost on my air conditioning and insulation will go up, but then my requirement of DG as well as power will come down, which most of the people would not factor. And they would have excess capacity built into their overall system. Same thing, even here, Ramesh was also not sure how the building would perform. He said, we will keep place for one more chiller and one more generator. Ajit, if we need, we will go later. So that was the way in which the sustainability evolved. Even till today, we have not added the generator nor the chiller. And we still are it's a 20-year-old building. Even today, it is one of the best in terms of energy performance. So that is how I got hooked to the sustainability and the green. And I became a member of the Indian Green Building Council. I was a founding member, so I was a part of almost all the committees. And my building had won number of awards. And subsequently, today I chair the Indian Green Building Council, the Chennai chapter. So the green is today has become my part of my any development which is there. I will have to accept the sustainability and then move forward. So this is how the technology, or it is probably one of the few places where I've been able to use probably my engineering skills to in business. And second was, I know I'm running out of time. I just have 1 or 2 minutes. Then I've been in real estate. When I was in automobile, I was very active with the trade body. I became the chairman of the Federation of Automobile Dealers Association, and we took a delegation also to the US. And today, that body is one of the top bodies for the auto dealers, and it is working with the government to change the policies, or is influencing the policies on auto retailing for the government of India. And then when I moved into real estate, I was very active with CREDAI. I became the chairman the president for CREDAI Chennai, then for CREDAI Tamil Nadu, and even for CREDAI National, I've been heading the environment committee, and earlier I was heading even the legal and compliance, which was there. So this has been my journey today. Today, my real estate company, my brand, which is there, stands famous for sustainable buildings. We are one of from the Chennai-based developers. We are among the top developers for office buildings, and even office and residential both put together, we have done almost 7 to 8 million square feet of total development in the last 10 years. And we are one of the largest owners of office building. Other than institution, we would be probably the top owners of office building in the city of Chennai. So we own almost 4 to 4.5 million square feet of office and industrial park. We have a million square feet of industrial. We have Amazon, we have Samsung, we have a couple of other occupants which are there in the industrial. And in my portfolio of IT parks, we are having Verizon, we have HP, we had ABN AMRO. Today we have Saint Gobain and quite a lot of other companies which are there. We have at least about 50, 60 companies who occupy the buildings which have been built by us. We also have in our portfolio a couple of schools. We have given 2 schools to, that is again a very stable rental income. So we look forward to in the days to come to probably have little more critical mass, have another couple of million square feet of development, and then probably float a Chennai specific REIT for the real estate asset. So this is what I look forward to.
Super, very
So
nice.
this is what is my brief thing. 20 minutes are over. Vish, how is it that
Super.
you'd like to take it forward?
Transitioning from auto retail to construction. Wow, amazing, amazing.
And in between, yeah, we've been having family office. I had, because of my love for fixed income, I had invested money into green energy right in 1996 itself. We had invested. And since then, we have been having, investment in wind turbine. And today, we are expanding our footprint into the solar. So we have almost 30 megawatts of wind and solar. Another 10 megawatt is getting added now. So we should have 40. The desire is in the next couple of years to take it to about 100 megawatt. Almost all my buildings are powered by own captive power. Almost 70 to 80% is my own captive green power is what is being supplied to them. And another 30-40% of the power which we generate, we give it to third parties. We give it to a couple of hospitals, couple of hotels, and couple of other commercial buildings and few factories.
Wow.
So this is what is my green, my real estate. I've been able to combine technology, how I've been able to bring in a little bit of technology into my day-to-day work.
It's amazing to hear that, Ajit, because lately what we hear is a lot of greenwashing, not
Yeah.
actually green, not real green. So in your case, I guess greenwashing is not possible because
It's
people
not
actually,
required. Green is absolute necessity today, and today it saves cost. It is not an expensive thing. It's only a mindset. So how you
yeah.
are able to bring in technology, it is not going to cost. At least in office buildings, it doesn't cost much. Residential, it definitely costs more money.
So residentially, it's not cost effective, you're saying?
No, because what happens is you need to go for high performance glass. You need to have, whereas air conditioning usage is there only during night and less during daytime. So people don't go, and then people want more vision. So going for performance glass, we need to cut down, and
Okay.
so also to add insulation to the walls by either adding panels or even adding performance paint. It is difficult. It is expensive,
Yeah.
and going in for large buildings, if it is there today, it is expensive. You can go for district cooling and all. It sounds very good on paper, but practically to go for one BTU meter for each apartment, if I give, that itself will cost me some 30-40,000 rupees. So thereafter to go for AHU. So overall, the air conditioning cost goes up if I go for district cooling
Okay.
because of the metering cost. And great saving ROI is not there for the incremental expenditure. But then office, it is imperative. You can't survive without having sustainability parameters because the building has to be today. If I don't go with these green features, if I haven't today, most of the occupants are multinational companies, and they are obligated towards green compliance and sustainability. They are bound to report their carbon footprint. So if a building which is better than what is being offered, so that building becomes the choice. So if I have to remain, then I'll have to have every building. I try to look at something unique, some new feature which is there. I try to add, and then I try to exploit that, and then I try to market that.
Got it. Super.
So
One last.
since you're on the topic of carbon footprint and you seem to be in the space where you can definitely give a weighted opinion, I'm very curious on how the market of carbon credits works. I've heard a lot of stories of how Tesla as a company makes a lot more money through their carbon credits
Well,
rather than their actual car sales? Maybe I think you'd be the perfect person to throw some light on this.
See, this whole thing started with the Kyoto Protocol, which was there, and where emission targets were taken, and the developed countries said that they gave certain targets to their manufacturing factories that you need to have, you need to reduce your carbon footprint. If you're not reducing it, then you could offset by buying carbon credits, and that was permitted in third world countries which were there, like India. You could invest in certain projects. So in the initial period, I'm talking of 2006, 7, 5, 6, 7, it was very popular. Then it started the carbon credit, CER they called, so
mm,
carbon emission receipts which were there. So
mm,
they were, people would go register their project and go. Even a cement company would move from, wet mix to some dry mix or something, the technology which is there. And then they would claim that there's a power saving and I have done this, and they would claim credit. So initially, a lot of people got the credits which were there, and they would get sold in the global markets, and foreign companies would buy. It was like a CSR for them, is what I would say. But then over a period of time, they also realized that that is not, because moving from the wet mix to dry, it is mandatory. If you don't move, then you are inefficient company, so you yourself cannot survive. So you will have to move, because if there are two factories, one is producing at a lower energy cost and you are producing higher cost, you can't be competitive. So they said no. And then even where, like say, wind energy projects which were there, if you're having, then we had also applied for the CRs and all. But they said if you're using it for your captive use, no, then we are not going to give. If you're giving it to the state grid, then we will give you. So that is how it is there. Even today, that CER has come down. Today, there is something called international emission receipts which are there. So any of the projects which are there, they have. So what happens? The exporters who are there from India. So once they are going, they need to report what is their carbon footprint. So they are able to report their carbon footprint directly what they consume. But what indirectly comes, they need to buy some of the emission certificates. Like for my solar projects also, we do get some small amount of the IERs which are there, international emission receipts, which we sell for $1 or so. And in a year we get some, maybe some 20, 25 lakh, 30 lakh is what we get as the money which is there. So it is more of an offset which is
Wow,
there,
that's
not
amazing. That's a great amount.
anything,
Yeah.
I would say that it has come down, the requirement which is there of people don't chase carbon credits now. Carbon credits, it is incidental, it is incidental. My project has to sustain on its own.
Wow. Okay, I think that's a really good insight because I know a couple of companies, actually a lot of companies, which are built on the concept of generating carbon credits. Based on the statement that you made, I think it makes sense to just chase, I guess, survivability more than anything before we look at carbon credits.
mm.
Awesome, thank you, sir. One more question, sir. You're someone you've operated an entire operations in terms of automobiles. Then you moved on to real estate, and now you're currently also in renewable energy. One thing common is that you are at the helm and you are controlling a lot of people under you. And this is a question that I've always faced, and that's something a lot of my friends also who are entrepreneurs have asked me. Which is the most used, or rather, the most effective tactic to lead? Is it fear based or love based? And I want an honest
No,
answer
no,
here,
can you
sir.
repeat what you said?
When you are a leader and when you're commanding leadership for so many people, what tactic works better for it? Is it fear based commanding or is it love based commanding?
See, it is not the question of commanding which is there, it is identifying the right resource which were there. So, the talent which is there and delegating. So, today, if we are having good, people, if we are able to take and then see, I am into multiple business. We are having, auto dealerships which are there. We deal with Mahindras, we are dealers for Ather, I'm dealer for Honda car, we are dealer for Maruti. And even in Maruti, there will be about 7, 8 outlets. Total number of business with it's huge. We also have an NBFC. We have a family office. We have investment in shares and securities. We also now have an NBFC. So we invest our surplus funds as well as we try to leverage and then try to we wanted to make some inroad with some technology which was there, but then we were not able to tech based lending. We were not able to move forward in that. So we are just holding it on, but maybe probably today we are looking that we may probably sell that particular business and then exit rather than to continue, because the cost of operations is more, and if I'm not able to scale. So into multiple businesses we are there. And then I'm also into a little bit of like Vish said, angel investing. So we are looking for opportunities which were there. One is investing through the angel funds, and one is directly also investing into certain new ideas and new companies which come. But then the decision I've taken is today any large investment we would do only if I'm actively involved in that particular business, then we would do. If not, we would not like to make an investment. I may make 5 lakh, 10 lakh, 15 lakh investment in an angel fund just to understand and comprehend what is happening. Because my daughter says you're from an era where dinosaurs ruled the earth. I passed out in 1985, and today, so much of changes has happened in the way in which the people move, they talk. So it's very difficult for us to comprehend. So I at least said every day I see in the newspaper, yeah, one full page dedicated to startup. This fund, this company got so much. This company got so much. Recently, I had one particular company, Chennai-based fintech company. They took 50,000 square feet of office space. Two young boys, 30-year-old Brahmin boys, which were there, they came and they said, it's a fintech company. Hey, we were saying it's a unicorn. So they were just short. I think now they've crossed $1 billion in the market. I mean, the valuation at which the last fundraise
M2P
they've had.
fintech, sir.
Fintech. So
Yes,
Chennai-based
M2P fintech. Yes, that's it.
fintech. So I was surprised. So I said that at least I make one or two investments. At least I will know what is happening. I'll be able to hear the pitch. These are the way in which the business is moving. If we need to continue in business, but the way of traditional businesses are over. It is unless we are able to adopt technology and move forward. The kirana merchants which are there, the shopkeepers which are there, they are. It's a very sad thing. A country like India, you have across the country, you have so many people, small traders. If everything is going to be taken over by DMart and Reliance or Tata and Chroma, I don't know what is going to happen. It's going to be it's going to be wish we'll have to get some economists to probably speak on this particular thing. But I personally feel it's a big challenge for a country like India. But then if we don't embrace, someone else will come and wipe it away.
So this is happening also in the retail space, right?
All
Look at
retail,
the
all
quick
retail is what I'm trying to say.
e-commerce, quick commerce, everywhere. People are just grabbing up. Blinkit and Zepto are growing like a rocket now,
Oh
and then
yeah,
also
everyone looking
Kiranas.
20 minutes delivery. What is it?
No, the kind of psychological shift it has caused, I'm not even kidding. Anytime I go to a friend's house nowadays, they're like, bro, just blink it. I'm like, where is the nearest supermarket? Can I go buy something
No.
toothpaste? They're like, bro, just blink it. And it's become the norm. Nobody even tells me how to go to a supermarket anymore. But so I understand
Every
the problem,
week you
sir.
have so much of the Amazon dabbas coming in, so many of these waste which comes, but we just can't help it. That is the way the business is today.
Yeah.
We have to evolve and then take it forward.
Super. So at this point, I would like all the participants to open your video so you can take a screenshot. While you're doing that, we are going to go to the question and answer. Ajit, there are a few questions already lined up for you. First one is from someone who didn't want to give the name. Is the legal and regulatory framework for labor improved in the last 20 years? I presume they're asking about India. I'm assuming that. The legal
Yeah,
and
it's
regulatory.
substantially improved. In fact, I had in 2006-7 itself one person coming and telling me Karke, that you don't have a factory license, I will close down your factory. I mean, my workshop and all. I said, boss, this is here for 30 years. I don't know. You give me this plan, that plan, I don't have. He said, I'm an health inspector. I will close it. I went to Chola Hotel and I did one cholera test for the chef there, and I took his nail swab and I came with a positive thing. I said, I will seal your this one. Those fellows came running to me. I said, see, I'm in business for 20 years. You can't threaten me. You want to close it. I will send these 200 people to your office. You pay them salary, you give them food. What are you doing? Like, see, today the compliance is there, but it is not as harrowing as it used to be in the past. Things are easy, and the government is also supportive. They know they want the industry to survive. They are not here to scare. In fact, they are more worried. If you have a Samsung like situation, the government is most worried that you cannot have more such strikes which are there. And the new companies like Tata Electronics, which has come in Krishnagiri belt, Hosur, there are almost 80,000 people directly, and they're like in next couple of years there'll be 1.5 lakh direct. Just imagine if they are direct 1.5 lakh, at least there'll be 7 or 8 more people. You're talking about millions of people depending on just Tata Electronics over a period of next 4 years. If something were to happen at Tata Electronics, the whole ecosystem will collapse. So the government, any government today, barring the views of maybe West Bengal, which is there where the climate is still not reached conducive, the political compulsion. But a progressive state like Tamil Nadu, we can be sure karke you don't have such terrorism which is there. We have local problems. You have the Talevars which are there. They will come. They will give some sort of a problem. Those type of issues are there. That is still an issue which is there compared to other states like Gujarat and even UP. UP is also far better today than even Tamil Nadu. Barring that particular menace, we don't have. And today for a factory, Tamil Nadu and all gives you a red carpet welcome. So you want to put up anything, they are there. Everything is open for you. Please come. Welcome. In fact, if someone were to come from North India, he will get more respect than a person coming from Chennai. And if you get one person from Northeast, put him a suit, sir, he is my partner. He will think he's a Chinese fellow or he's a Korean fellow. He will give him still bigger welcome, which is there. So, it's like,
So
and
on
if
this
you were
note,
to get
sir,
someone from
because
Europe or America, they will send a vehicle to pick him up at the airport.
so on that note, sir, because you have such a pan-India experience, by your personal opinion, what would be your top three most forward-thinking development-based states? I know it's a little controversial, but I have to do what I have to do. So
No, forward thinking.
states, like what are the top three states according to you that are the most development favored?
No, no. So Tamil Nadu is definitely among the three. So if three states you want me to say, then it is Tamil Nadu, it is Maharashtra, and it is Gujarat. So these three states are there, and other states are competing. It is a dynamic thing. You cannot say which is what, because I had the Hero Group, which is there. One of my partners was partnering with them, so they wanted to set up some chip testing facility in Tamil Nadu. So they were a Bangalore-based company. So the promoter sold this company to Hero Group, and he said, "Sir, let us put up a factory here in Tamil Nadu." He said, "No, no, 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 Tamil Nadu, no." He said, "Where?" "No, go to Uttar Pradesh." He said, "Sir, Uttar Pradesh, yes." He says, "No, very stable policies of the government." He gets a call after 3 days from the chief secretary of the Uttar Pradesh. He says, "You come over here, I will give you land here, I will give you water is available, this is available, that is available. You come over immediately, we'll do it." Even places like Uttar Pradesh, after this Yogi Adityanath has come, crime, vime, and all has come down. They are progressing very, very fast. Gujarat is definitely a great push right from Prime Minister Modi himself, though they don't have the infrastructure nor the intellectual capital, but still they are pushing very, very hard, and they're trying to get people. Places like Assam, so it's a very, very competitive, but then be rest assured, Tamil Nadu is among the top, and it can be 1, 2, or 3. And reporting also, if it is showing little lower, it is probably more politics there than anything else, because ease of doing business and other things, if you look at, we are way ahead. Though the ranking may show, I'm the vice chairman for CII Chennai zone, so I can tell you where I keep meeting TN guidance people also often. So they say, "Sir, we submitted everything, but they wanted to push Gujarat up, so the Gujarat has gone up." So Tamil Nadu, Gujarat, and Maharashtra, in terms of infrastructure, manpower, social indicators, every way we are way, way ahead. Way
Wow,
ahead.
amazing.
Thank you for that insight, sir. It's really reassuring. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Mr. Ramakrishnan, you have a question?
Yeah. My question is on you were mentioning about the 30 megawatt power generation. How much is on the wind side and how much is on the solar side?
No, I have about 13 megawatts of wind. I had about 20 megawatts, but then during COVID, the
Ah,
power consumption had come down, and we didn't know that we could probably sell it to some other consumers. So a huge
okay.
amount of units lapsed. So then we decided to sell and reduce it. Then post COVID, again the energy consumption was there, and we found wind to be the most unreliable. None
Ah,
of my
right.
windmills have given
Correct.
the targeted returns, all have given abysmally poor returns which are there.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
But solar, our experience, we have put two projects, and both the projects, the returns are, there are challenges. We had imported everything and kept for 1 year, we were not able to commission the projects. There is
Oh,
a
okay.
land issue, there is a connective issue, there are the local people create an issue, then
Hmm.
you have connecting it to the grid is an issue. So we had various challenges even one year. But in spite of that, the ROI is very, very, very predictable. And if it is rooftop, it is a no-brainer. You just don't even need any
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
expert which is there.
Yeah.
Whatever price you pay, even you pay 25% more and put on your roof, your
Yeah.
payback is going to be 4 to 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
I
Last
think
10 years,
not.
I am without Bescom. I am on solar.
Yeah, solar
Correct.
is the cheapest. In fact, in my office building, I have 1.1 megawatt in one building,
Okay.
and another building I have another 1 megawatt, almost two
Very good.
megawatts. And all my workshops, I have something like 100, 200 megawatts of rooftop solar. In my
Okay.
house also, I have a 5 watts of power. My brother's house also, we have about five. So it's a rooftop solar is a no-brainer. Even if
Yeah.
you don't maintain, let dust be
Yeah. Yeah.
there,
Yeah. That's true.
let
Correct.
rainwater come and clean. You will still make good money.
Correct.
You will still
Thank
make
you.
good money.
And the second question is, see, you are more on the what is that commercial, and there is a big opportunity in the senior homes, because many people know, I have seen many apartments where senior citizen, they are occupying 3,000 square foot. Many of them are asking for something like a studio apartment, 500 to 600 square foot, and many villas have come in Bangalore as well as Coimbatore. So why
There is
can't
going to be an explosive growth in this particular sector. There's
ah
going to be explosive growth. It's not just
correct.
growth. We recently gave one building to Atulya Senior Living. So they are
Oh, okay,
one of the
okay.
pioneers here in Tamil Nadu. And
Right.
I think Morgan Stanley has invested in this particular company. They have taken an equity stake.
Okay.
And he's expanding. And he has given the numbers which were there. We are nowhere near China or any other, third world countries which are there. So if we have to
Yeah.
compare of the India versus China, we have something like at least another 20 times the growth which is there. We hardly have. Only Coimbatore has few developments. Chennai has few developments. You
Correct.
don't have. The
Okay.
Chennai facility, he charges 80,000 rupees a month per person,
Yes.
and he is full. He doesn't have space.
Correct. That is true.
So people who are there abroad, people who are there, even husband and wife, both of them are there. They would rather move over to this
Yeah.
senior
Yeah.
living
Yeah.
rather than to stay in their own house.
Correct.
It's
Correct.
not that just the
Correct.
children are in America and the parents are here. In
Yeah. Yeah.
fact, I've had some of the top industrial families coming and asking me, Ms. Chodia, why don't you promote something on ECR? I would like to take an apartment.
Ah.
Me and my group will like to take, and we want fully serviced apartment. We want kitchen to be there, and
Yeah.
healthcare facilities should be available in the
Yes. Yes.
neighborhood.
Agreed. Agreed.
I'm not looking at at a hospital type environment where you have a doctor every day coming. We want active living.
Yes.
But I would like to move into an facility which is there where I have like-minded people and food is available, housekeeping is available. And
Correct.
if I'm sick, a doctor must be available.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
good,
Super.
sir.
So
Thank
that's
you very much.
active living. A lot of people are coming. We'll see very, very explosive growth in this sector.
Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
There's
Next
an
question.
18% GST on this, so that's again a major deterrent. So we are
Yeah.
making a student accommodation does not have GST, but this particular thing has a GST. Hospital doesn't have a GST, but this particular thing is suffering with 18%. So we are making a representation in this budget also through CII, CREDAI, everywhere, to see to it that it is either moderated, if not fully removed.
And what is the logic behind why this and not that?
See, I personally feel they could have taken a view that it is not required to pay and they could have gone ahead. But then, because of the compliance, the gray area, no one has taken any advance ruling. These people have decided to make, once they have decided to pay and go, then they have to pay on their entire thing. They are not able to split the stay separately and other services separately. So,
Interesting.
that's the reason.
Okay, super. Next question is from Anonymous. Somebody asking about Ikadu Tangal Tech Park. Whoever asked the question, can you unmute and ask the question?
Yeah,
Please?
yeah, it's me, it's me.
Yeah,
The
please.
moment we think of Olympia, the first thing we get is your Dangal Tech Park. And
Yeah.
right now I'm sitting next to your OMR Thorepakam Olympia commercial space.
Yeah.
My question is on REIT. We all have this association in physical space, but how do you try to associate in terms of REIT, and how effective is REIT investment in India?
See, in India, it is a nascent industry. It
I'm,
is
I'm,
just
I'm, I'm very
taking
sorry.
off.
I'm very sorry. What is REIT? I'm
RIT, yes,
part
it
of the
is Real
audience that don't
Estate
understand.
Investment Trust, it is called.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it
Okay.
is like, owning a part of the asset. So you take part in an rental income which is there without having the hassle of owning it physically and then running behind where the water has come, not repair, pay property tax, anything which is not there. So, and plus you are not fixated to one particular asset, but a bundled asset which is there. So all the assets which are there in India, you are having about four REITs which are there now. Office first was Embassy, then you had Mindspace of Rahejas, then you had Brookfield. So I think these are the three office assets which are there, and then there's one more Maple Tree or so. I think there are four assets which are there under this. Then you have now again Blackstone has come with retail mall. They have come with a REIT on the retail mall. So you have about four or five REITs. So this got regulated just about 4 or 5 years back, 3, 4 years back, and they have been doing well. About 6 to 7% is the dividend yield which is there on the investment. And the good thing is you are having an stake in investments which are spread over Chennai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Bombay, Pune, at all these places which are there. And real estate is most illiquid investment. Please appreciate real estate is not liquid. Gold is liquid, stocks are liquid, bonds and fixed deposits are liquid, but real estate, when you want to sell, you cannot sell. And it's an imperfect market, it's a perceived value, but when you go to sell, you will not be able to get that particular value. So when you are invested in REIT, they are listed. Whenever you want, you could sell. If the value of the asset goes up, the rental goes up, your distribution goes up, the value goes up. So to that extent, it is a very, very good investment. You could do a small investment and go and be a part of getting a regular annuity. You buy an apartment, residential apartment. I bet you will be able, not be able to get more than 2.5% return on your investment. It's actually a great destructor of wealth. Buying residential apartment with the view that it will appreciate. It's very, very difficult for such appreciation to come. You'd rather be good enough to buy a land and then leave it rather than to buy an apartment. But then that has its own problems. Someone were to encroach you, you
Yeah.
run into problems.
Yeah.
So REIT is an excellent investment. You have more and more REITs coming. You will now have industrial REITs coming in. Going forward, there are people who are aggregating schools
Yeah.
which have been given on rent. That also they'll be coming up as a REIT. You will have hospitals which are there, which are going to come on to REITs. The senior living also, which is there, this what I spoke about, this Atulia and a lot of other people, they are also looking at coming up with a REIT as well as which will be owning the asset and selling it to retail investors, and they will have the operations of the senior living or the active living, which will be their forte.
Yeah.
So it gives developers like me. I said even I would like to bundle and then put it into a REIT, so that what happens if I have a platform, I as and when I build a building, I don't have to wait for an investor to come. I just offload it onto my the REIT platform which is there. It gets taken over by that, and the retail investors and institutional investors will participate and take it forward.
I wish REIT had come earlier, Ajit. 10 years ago, I put in real estate private equity. That's a disaster. That was a disaster, I tell you.
That was overseas.
No,
Okay.
no, here in India, actually, I put it in real estate private equity. At that time, REIT was not there. I'm talking about 2011, 12 time frame.
Hmm.
This couple of companies came and did that, and that didn't work out very well. They are actually building in tier two and tier three cities, affordable living type things, and they have real estate private equity where you have to put money and then someone will aggregate it, and then they will actually do mezzanine funding as well as doing, and that was really Artveja is one I put in, and it's not a good idea. That's not a REIT probably will solve that problem because in the US REIT is very popular actually
No, but REITs have crashed also now when the market collapsed 2 years
during
back.
bubble. Yeah,
Post COVID, when the office markets and all, your San Francisco has become like ghost town now. So the office buildings, you have 25%, 30% vacancies. All these companies, REITs and all, have gone 40, 50% they've lost the capital values.
True, true. In California, you're absolutely right.
Yeah,
The real estate market in the rest of the parts of the US, Texas, for example, is doing all right. Now, my question is, real estate is considered to be very emotional investment in India, right? Everybody
correct.
thinks of it as an emotional investment.
Yeah.
Now, turning it into something which is not a hard asset and dealing it like any other liquid asset. I'm not sure what the emotional
I
impact.
know. So that's the problem. In fact, I have so many investors coming in. We sell properties to them. I try to sell them, sir, why don't you buy it as a company? You take it over, you save stamp duty. We put into an SPV and then give. Hey, Lapa, I want to give it to my daughter. One floor will be given to one daughter. This is going to be taken by my brother. This is going to be taken by me. So you have, this Muslim community, because interest is in haram for them,
Uh,
they are big investors into fixed income properties.
mm,
But
mm,
it's an emotional attachment. They say, no, no, no limited company, sir. I want to have it in my name. So what you say is right, and that's why it says, I tell you. So people still like to own. I know of people who have 40, 50 residential apartments.
I
I say,
know.
sir, why are you buying residential? It's an obsession. I need to have 50 apartments. I have another 10 apartments to buy in next 5, 6 years.
Yeah, this is the same argument about sovereign gold bonds. When I went to get sovereign gold bond, my mom said that, why are you not buying real gold? Why are you buying fake
Yeah.
gold? I said, this is real gold, mom. She says, no, this is fake gold. I can't feel and touch it. So it's not real gold, right? That attitude change about this emotional investments like gold and real estate. I don't see this country ready to move that far. So that's why I think REITs, how far they'll succeed here is still
Hey,
questionable.
REIT serves the purpose of someone who requires an annuity. He wants every month a return which is there, every quarter a return which is there
Mm,
with a capital appreciation. Or every investor who is having a portfolio, like today I have a portfolio of investment in shares, I have in debt or a debt bonds which are there. I also have in gold. For the
yeah.
simple reason, I need to have small, I don't have to keep 20% in gold, but at least 4 or 5% I would like to keep it in gold. So I
Mm,
have sovereign gold bonds
yeah.
and or ETFs which are there with me.
Yeah.
So also people should have REIT because it gives you a
Diversification.
stability. There's an income which is there.
Mm,
See, India, fortunately, today, if you look at world over, it is only as you move away from US, you come to Europe, the occupancy of office increases. You come to Middle East, it increases further. You come to India, it is very high. You come to
mm,
Singapore, it is high. You come to Hong Kong, it is high. So
mm,
between Hong Kong and India, you will find probably the occupancy to be the best. And still going forward, we are having record absorption of office space year on year today.
mm,
So whereas US is empty,
mm. Got
UK
it.
is also not that great, Europe is also not that great, but
Mm,
our country is doing pretty good. There's in fact shortage. Chennai and all, you don't have office space.
mm. Interesting. I have one other question about the latest AI technology. Say that data centers to run AI centers are a big thing now. Every big company, even big tech companies, are investing in real estate, nuclear power plants, etc. All that. Is that a space that you see developing into a big deal in India?
Yeah, so it is not that the way in which the IT has proliferated, the data centers will not proliferate in that particular manner.
Mm,
Number one. Number two, data centers are capital intensive.
mm,
Even for me as a real estate play, we did try to work with some of the data center. We prepared everything, designed everything, and gave them.
mm,
They are very clear because for them the land and building is an insignificant cost,
mm,
part of the cost of the overall cost which they need to incur on air conditioning and generator and power and
mm,
the racks which they are going to have.
mm,
So they, with a view to just de-risk the, legal risks which are there in compliance, construction risk, and approval risk, the title risk, they want a developer to come and build and give it to
mm,
them.
mm,
There is limited. So how much of data, and then number of people data center employs, they are hardly anything. You would have
mm,
a 45 megawatt data center will employ only 100 people.
mm,
So, whereas the investment in that is huge in terms of 45 megawatt they have redundancy for 1:1 redundancy. I
mm,
have n plus 1 redundancy in my office building,
mm,
large office building. If I need 4 generators, I'll have 4 plus 1, 5.
mm,
Whereas a data center, if they have 10 generators, they'll have 20
mm,
generators.
mm,
It is not going to be n plus 1, it's going to be 2n. Same thing with chillers.
mm,
So, data center is capital intensive. There is a limited requirement is there. It is growing.
mm.
And fortunately, the Chennai has that submarine landing cable which is there, which is coming into here, so the latency is low. So
Right.
the data loss which is there, I believe it's some milliseconds which are there. So that gives them the advantage to have it in Ambattur area and then in Siriseri area.
Mm.
But it doesn't make much of a difference. Today, even Hyderabad will have, Bangalore will also have. But two major centers have emerged. One is Navi Mumbai, and second is Chennai. Because both these places, this the underground cable which is there, or undersea cable which is there, and coming and landing.
Right.
But big investment in terms of money, huge money is being spent.
Right. Thank you. So next question is about pivot into commercial estate. Is it Satyapraya your question or somebody else's question?
No, no, not mine.
Whoever asked the question, can you please ask the question?
I think it was me. This is Andy
Okay.
Giri. I was one
Ah,
year senior to you, Ajit,
hi Andy.
and Suresh, and
Hi.
also Kalimani who's in the call. I in fact called Kalimani and Murugesan here. Murugesan is not from our college, but I thought this should reach. And he's
Ah,
in, I think, involved. He knows
interesting.
Ajit. I thought I should invite people who would find interest in this discussion. Anyway, I've known Khivraj Motors much before I heard about Ajit. Because it's in Mount Road, and whenever I cross since the 80s in college, so that's where the brand was initially. And then I see, I know Olympia Tech Park, owned by his family through Kalamani. But in between, I didn't know all these things that he spoke about, right? Particularly commercial real estate, the value that is created. Many of us were looking for buying apartments or buying land, while I think this gentleman pivoted into something with a great vision, right? And of course, there are many other visionaries like that in that league. I was wondering why. Okay, for example, COVID-19 hit. I think Ajit, you spoke about what happened in San Francisco. San Francisco is not that bad. I think the real estate, commercial is bad. You're right. You're right. The residential is very very strong still, right?
Mm.
So I mean the people who can't afford to buy houses there go to Dallas, but I
Right.
think it's ultra rich town. So obviously the real estate is too strong. But when it comes to commercial estate, so much risk is involved, right? So what made you to pivot to that? Of course, it is dividend producing. Commercial real estate makes at least 10 times rent, in my experience, than like I have a house in Nagarkoil and a very small property on the road, which gets me 10 times more on the road versus here, right? So I know it's a cash cow, but then how did you align? What if these things didn't, India story didn't grow high and you have built all these 1.5 million square feet and then you suffer? How do you mitigate that risk?
Now, what do you mean by mitigate this particular thing? See, the
Okay,
office building.
that
Tell
kind of
me.
thing, right? What if you have 3 years of downtime with no rent? How do you? So of course you have gold investments and things, but how do you, as a business, how do
No,
you?
so it is a risky thing. So I'll just give you an example. In Chennai, if you look at the early OMR and late OMR. If you're familiar with Chennai, you have Old Mahabalipuram Road, and the road goes right up to, let's say, Siruseri. So if you come to Navalur just little before Siruseri, buildings have been built in 2007, 2008. Even today they are empty.
Mm.
It's 20 years they are empty. So there is a principal rule in real estate called, there are three important factors to
Location,
govern a
location,
real estate: location, location,
location,
location.
location.
You need to be careful on that. More so, if it's a seasoned developer like DLF, they drive the market. They have such huge mass. Their client base in Delhi, their client base in Chennai is so big. They put any place which is there, they will be able to bring the client. But others, it will be have to be either a government-led initiative. Today, you ask me to put something in Madurai, I will not put up in Madurai. That is the job of the government. Government has to put up an IT park in Madurai. Today, Coimbatore, I tell you, it's a 500,000 square feet is the market. There's no space available in Coimbatore,
Mm.
an office space today, an IT park. Tidal, everything are full. Elcott is full. There's no space available. Rentals have shot up. But then it was the job of the government. They created first. They created Elcott.
Mm.
Then you had one private developer also coming up there, the local Coimbatore person who had put up a large KG which was there, had put up, and then it developed. So there are risks which are there, but then so do come the reward. I had developed a million square feet in Olympia Tech Park in Guindy. We were lucky. We were at the right location. We came at the cusp of growth little
Mm.
before. I never anticipated that the building would get leased so fast. By the
mm,
time I came to the ground floor, from the basement we came up, 70% of the building was leased.
mm,
That was then. Today, just before COVID, I signed up one more property in Guindy. It is opposite to the Kalingar Hospital,
mm,
King's Institute in Guindy. It's near Saidapet. So I did there a million square feet building. I got stuck in COVID. So
mm,
I got the project was delayed by a year and a half. All numbers went for a six. I had a private equity partner. They were not able to make money. We were worried. The building was ready, but I was not able to lease.
mm,
The markets had changed. Then, without looking at the building, people were willing to pay and sign up for a space. Today, he has choice. He says, "No, I want the building to be fully ready." Yes, sir, fully ready. My building will be ready in 6 months' time. You will require 6 months to complete your fit out. Take it. No, 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 no. Building is not ready. I will go to another building which is ready. Building is ready, I get a CC, but post CC also works goes on. Still they come? No. So today, unless the building is reasonably ready with glass having been made airtight and the common areas which are there looking presentable, because for them also today it is a flight to quality. So people want their employees to have an experience. So they would like to have the best in terms of the building which there. Unless the building is ready, it is not possible to lease. So we have changed our marketing strategy, which are there. We are clear. I will not be able to lease the building like in the past that even I'm at the fifth floor, sixth floor, I'll have a client. No. Today I need to factor the building will be ready. I'll have to install the glass. I have to rush through and complete the ground floor and the lobbies which are there and the toilets, everything will have to be kept ready so that by the time the building is ready, I need to have these. If not, those things used to be second. I'll complete the
mm,
building, take the
mm,
CC, then continue with, sir, you start your fit out. I am doing the ground floor lobby. Today, that's not the case.
mm,
So it is a risk which is there. This building, 1 year after CC, 1.5 year after CC, I still did not have a tenant. But after that, one tenant came, second tenant came, third. Today, we are almost 85% leased, about 1.2 million square feet of office. We have leased almost 10.5 lakh square feet of office. So, you need to have holding power also today. Any
mm,
large building, if not, we have seen so many people going out of business in Chennai itself. Early part of OMR also. You had this Matrix Tower and all at Thoripakam and
mm,
all. They were lying empty for 15 years. You go further down, Cherry, the Times of India is there next to that. Even today it is empty. That person is trying to, repurpose the building into making into a mall. You come into Alliance was there. That was an SCZ. Much later, that building went on rent. You
mm.
go into Alpha Beta. There is one building which is there in Navalu. The building is next to that one building is empty. That building also 20 rupees is rental. So it's difficult. You have Ambattur. It's in the heart of the city. Even today, the rentals are 30 rupees and 35 rupees. I remember 10, 15 years back, Ambattur Cloth Company had built an A grade building. Just same ditto. All my consultants are their consultant. My design is their design. So in terms of quality, everything is same. But he leased the building at 17 rupees a square feet. In those days, a godown used to go for 17 rupees a square feet. He gave it AC power, power backup, and free car parking at 17 rupees. But just couldn't do it. He has spent 1700 rupees plus on the building. Forget about land. So you need to be careful. Yes, it's a risky business. You can't just make an office building or a large commercial building wherever you want. If it is fully developed area, fine. Mount Road, you can still do what happens. At best, you may get 10 rupee less as rent or 10 rupee more. But if you're creating a new market, somewhere you say, I will put a office building in Gumadi Pundi or Guduan Cheri or GST Road. No, you will land up into problems. It's a risky thing.
Wow. Wow. The other question I had, Ajit, is about GCCs, these global capabilities, and a big business now. I still do some consulting for a company in Bangalore called Answer, who is a market leading company in that. We partner with Embassy, and we put up a lot of facilities where Embassy provides us the shell at a much discounted price, and then we bring in the customers and we do a sort of a JV type arrangement, not exactly a JV type arrangement. Seems to work very well. Do you see that happening in Chennai?
Yeah, so see, GCC again is a new terminology which has been coming. So it is the same thing.
Captives.
When earlier they were there, they were having development centers. Today you're calling GCC.
Yeah.
I don't know. Then it came fintech. So these are all seasonal things which are there. Whole thing getting rechristened. Too many things happening. But what you said, there are two, three companies like what you mentioned. They do come. They speculatively take the space also and do it, or they facilitate the
Mm,
new companies which are coming into India to take it forward.
mm,
That is there. But that apart, today you have this, the co-working which is there, so
mm,
collaborative workspace.
mm,
So that is available. Most of the companies are even Samsung has taken a space from us,
mm,
negotiated everything. Then ultimately they gave it to WeWorks. They
mm,
said no, WeWorks will pay you the rent. We are going to pay only one rent to them. So then we said we can't take exposure to WeWork. Then we entered into an escrow arrangement that my part of the rent will be paid separately by them.
mm, mm,
That will come to me directly without going into the
mm,
directly into the pocket. So
mm,
larger companies, State Bank of India card division was there. Even they said, "Karke, we don't want to have take this space and then do the fit outs and then have one admin manager to do housekeeping,
mm,
someone to maintain and tea coffee which is there, someone to make electricity payment. I will make one lump sum payment which is there."
mm, mm,
And then today, the uncertainties of the market, that I take a 500 seat office, tomorrow I may need only 300. What do I do with the 200 seat?
mm,
So moving into this collaborative workspace, they give some 3-year, 4-year lock-ins which are there,
mm,
flexibility to reduce the office space, and then the collaborative workspace is big for a smaller companies. If he wants to expand, also he
right,
gets an option to do it.
right.
So that is something which is new.
Mm,
And
mm,
it 25% of the workspace has now moved into collaborative workspace.
yeah.
You have SmartWorks, you have WeWorks, you have IndieCube, you are having Regus, you are having Executive Center, you name it, karke 10, 50 name. You have Office, and these companies have listed at with such fabulous valuation. WeWorks was to offload the equity in favor of their Indian partner. They said, sorry, we are not going to give now. You go for an IPO, I will exit in the IPO.
Mm, interesting. Interesting. Okay, good. Thanks. Any other questions in the audience? Open to questions.
Yeah, Vish. Hi, Ajit. My name is Tyagarajan. I am 98 passed out. I spent nearly like 12 to 13 years in IT, and then I got into real estate consulting. So I was part of a large land parcel acquisition on OMR, nearly 1,200 acres. That you should be aware of that. Behind that, Jayalalitha's farmhouse, like 1,200 acre, one hub Chennai.
Oh, yeah, yeah, Ascendas. Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
as well as area. We consolidated the land parcel for them.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was a great experience. Right now, also I'm working on few projects. Got some customers who are looking for 100 plus acres of land to set up their logistics park. Okay, but what the problem what we face right now is like the land cost has increased so much that for these logistics companies it is not feasible for them to set up their parks because the rent they get maximum is 22 23 rupees per square feet, and only with a budget of 1.5 crores per acre this entire thing works out. But the landowners have increased the rate like anything, like they are demanding 2, 2.5, 3, and all that. So, lot of land parcels are sitting idle, especially near that Sungwa Chatram, the new
Mm,
expressway, and that Mapped junction. But we are not able to identify the right parcels for my customers. I have a couple of customers who are looking for this size land parcels. Any thought process?
No, I think this thing which is there of industrial and warehousing, the land which is there, though the valuations are better than that of commercial, because office building for an institutional buy, it goes at 8.5 cap. So that means if you buy an asset for 100 crores, then you are getting something like about 8.5 crores as the operating revenue.
mm,
But for an industrial, it used to be as low as 7.5, 7.75.
mm,
Today it has gone up to 8% or 8.1%, which is there. So some
mm,
of the logos deal and all has been at about 8 plus
mm,
in Chennai. And I have not been able to decipher this particular thing because I have also acquired certain land. We also want to do in industrial, but the cost of construction, everyone wants A grade, and 2,000 rupees would be the construction cost. And if you get 22 rupees, and when interest during construction to be factored, land value you can't get today at less than 2.5 crores, 2.25 crores, any good land. So only thing which we are looking at is we still want to make our presence. The whole thing is working on spreadsheet today. As far as industrial is concerned, it doesn't go on the current ROI. It is on exit valuation. Today, if I buy on a 100 feet road or a belt where new factories are going to come, so I am purchasing at 2 crore or 2.25 crore, and maybe 8 years later it will become 5 crore an acre. Only that if I put in spreadsheet, and 10 years later what is the type of valuation, then it makes commercial sense. If not, it is the unorganized players who are there, the merchants and traders who are there, who would like to buy land at a valuation lower than the actual value and then go forward, then perhaps it makes sense. On a greenfield basis, especially an 80 acre, 100 acre, we have stopped chasing the land. I would say today, give me 20-acre land parcel, it is okay, because for me, flipping it becomes easy. If I have 100 acre, it takes me 5 years, 4 years to lease. My interest holding cost is going to be high, land cost is going to be high. It just doesn't make sense. I would rather do it in 4 locations. I'm spreading the risk. So it is today, it's a difficult situation for, with the land prices being so high in Tamil Nadu, and the rentals being what they are. But rentals will jump. Office building rentals have jumped today to 100 rupees in Chennai. So
Wow.
100, 110 is the rental which are there, any new office. It was stagnant at 60, 70, 80, 60, 70, 80. Today it has jumped. DLF has 3, 4 projects have crossed 100. Any new building which we are doing today in prime areas, we are factoring 100, 100 plus as rent and going forward. Same thing will happen in industrial. You will look at only Oragadam has 28 rupees and 30 rupees. So other places also will have to move to 27, 28 rupees. If not, it is not viable.
Super. Excellent. Thank you so much. I think we
I
are running
have
out of.
one final question.
Go ahead, Satyapraya.
So this is on newer technologies. How is your R&D? How are you experimenting with R&D? Like we have 3D printing coming up. Godrej construction in Mumbai, they have recently constructed an office space using 3D printing in just about through 2-3 days, and it's so cost effective. How do you think it's going to rule the future of real estate?
No, see, technology is important. There is one is a rapid construction, because the interest during construction is a cost which is there. So we have to find ways and means of doing as rapid a construction as possible, at the same time complying with the codal requirements which are there. So whatever technology you see, earlier it used to be conventional, then it came, you had pre-stressed concrete which was there. So we used to use pre-stressing because we could de-shutter in about 7 days time instead of 21 days. So we are able to cut. Then we have had table form work which has come. So that has also been faster. You have had buildings which have been built as precast also has been tried out, and that has also been successful in large projects where repetitions are there. 3D is also being tried out. That is good, probably more for residential than for or independent villas than for large office buildings which are there. Office building is still relatively simple. Even we use a table formwork, we are able to do quick setting concrete is there. We are able to move forward and then take it forward. And coming to the office building itself, the technology which is there, which we are trying to implement into the building, that is also having quite a lot of changes which are coming. Every day we see new people coming in. We ourselves have been working with a couple of companies. How is it that I can optimize? Data is important. So what is the past data available with me, based on which we are able to reduce the power consumption or air conditioning load. So in fact, we ourselves have recently tied up with an IIT startup and 2 companies in IIT which are there. So we are working with them. They are going to first capture the data, have sensors at a lot of places, and then we will be looking at becoming net zero, so that the power generation which is there on a real-time basis we are able to consume. And first is to drive down the power consumption. First, to understand what is the power consumption pattern each month, what time of the day, what day of the week, what is my power consumption, what is my peak, how is it that I can save. All this, unless the data is there, we are not able to. We have what end of the month we have a data, what is my power consumption. So that's not enough. So we are modifying the whole particular thing. And here again, all they may say AI and all, but then it is actual data which is there, which is going to be studied, and then people are coming. Quite a lot of work has happened. Next 1 or 2 years, you'll be seeing quite a lot of more technology being coming to use in office buildings, which will really bring down. At least data will be there, and we will know what is the pattern. Whether Friday the office occupancy is less power consumption is less, Monday is less, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is more. Yeah, that is known fact. But within this, what time of the day, what is the occupancy which is there, that determines the power consumption. Lot of things are being worked out, and there AI is going to come into play, because unless you feed all the data,
Yeah.
probably AI will help us in coming out with an optimal solution. Currently, data is not there, so whole thing is the past data becomes very, very important, and then only will be. But work is going on. A good amount of work is going on. I've seen these young boys coming and talking and interacting. I had a couple of seasoned people also coming, but we were not able to comprehend. But looking at these young boys having come, and they had offered the solutions, what they have done, what they are doing, I'm sure.
Twastva, right? You're talking about Twastva, the
Yeah.
IIT startup. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. So we had got them, and they have given fairly good, and they are working slowly. So they're good. This is let's not spend too much of money. It's again a trial and error. We will install this at 4 or 5 AHUs. We will understand the pattern which is there. Then you can invest in 100
Mm,
AHUs which are there,
mm.
and then monitor the data, and then we will go forward.
Super. Excellent. So we are running out of time. Ajit, it took a lot longer than what we expected. It's 9:30 p.m. Thank you so much. It's quite a insightful session, because real estate is an area which I don't think most people actually understand. It is a traditional business. It's also highly capital intensive business, etc. But great session today. Lots of good questions. A lot of good discussions. Thank you very much for taking the time in Pune while you're in Pune. I know you are running back to Chennai the next couple of
I
days.
have a late night flight. Yeah, I've rushed to airport now.
Thank you so much for the time.
Okay.
Appreciate
Thank you.
that. And thank you all for joining the session today. Happy New Year to all, 2025, in a couple of days from now.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Thank
Happy
Thank
you.
you.
New Year,
Thank
all.
you.
Thank you.
Thank
Wish.
you.
Thiagarajan, I look forward to meeting you.
Yeah, sure, Ajit. Yeah.
Thank you.
And
Thanks, Vish. Thanks for
Ajit,
giving an opportunity.
Which is
Ajit,
the
if you can,
best channel to connect with you, Ajit?
Which one, sir? Oh,
Which is,
I have my mobile this thing on my this sheet which is there, my introduction sheet. My phone number and my email ID is there. So you
okay.
could just give a call to me on my mobile phone, and I'll respond back immediately.
Yeah, sure. Your Opaline project, one of my uncle gave his land parcel for that project on
Oh,
OMR.
oh, so nice.
We should catch, yeah.
Yeah.
Catch up sometime, yeah.
Thank you, Vish.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
thank you
you,
so
you.
much,
Ajit.
guys.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Thank
Wish.
you very much.
Satya. Thank you,
Yeah.
Andy.
Happy New Year, guys.